Welcome to rSlash Am I the Butthole, where OP has to live with his bully. Today's episode is sponsored by Mando. Look, I'm not the type of guy who wakes up and thinks, I need high-quality deodorant in my life. Nah, I just put it on in the morning and go about my day. So when Mando wanted to sponsor my channel, I'm like, sure, why not? But then they sent me deodorant samples, and man, let me tell you, I love coconut. It is the tastiest and best smelling food on planet Earth. They sent me coconut scented deodorant, and I didn't even realize it until I opened it and smelled it and instantly fell in love. This stuff makes me smell so good, I want to eat my own armpits. Since then, Mando's been my favorite deodorant, which is like a silly thing to say because I typically don't really care about deodorant. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack to use code rSlash at shopmando.com. shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them who sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Am I the butthole for refusing to give free tutoring to my mom's stepdaughter because she bullied me when my mom married her dad? I'm a 17-year-old guy and I live with my dad. My parents divorced when I was 4 and they shared me 50-50. When I was 7, my mom met her husband Ricky and they got married after dating for about a year. Ricky had 3 kids. Frankie was a year older than me, Cole was 2 years younger, and Jessie was 3 years younger. Jessie wasn't happy her mom was gone, and she took her dad's marriage to my mom out on me. She bullied me for 3 years at my mom's and in my school. My mom and Ricky knew about this, and they intervened, but my mom also didn't really make me feel better, and she kept making excuses for why we had to make things work. Even when Frankie threatened to push me out of the upstairs window, my mom would tell me I needed to be patient, kind, and loving, and that sometimes siblings struggle with new additions. Frankie was physically and emotionally bullying me, and she's had access to me way more than I wanted her to. There wasn't a day I spent with my mom when she didn't bully me. Some of the stuff she did during those 3 years included breaking my stuff, threatening me, throwing her juice over me in school, tripping me up in school, ruining my homework, trying to close doors on my hand, locking me out of the house, pouring water on my bed right before my bedtime, spreading rumors at school about me crapping my pants and pissing myself when we'd go anywhere. When it got to the point that I wasn't eating, that I was struggling in school, the school was reaching out to my parents and my interest in stuff was gone. My dad was able to win custody of me because the home environment was considered unhealthy for me and was very literally putting me at risk. My mom was pissed, but she kept some legal custody. This meant that I had to stay in the same school because mom said so. Frankie kept bullying me at school and she did a few more physical things to me. Dad finally got permission to move my school when Frankie threatened to kill me in front of the whole school. I never forgave my mom for staying with Ricky and choosing to be a stepmom to Frankie over being a mom. People can say she didn't do that all they want, and some people have said that to me, but it's what she did. She chose her marriage and her stepkids over me. She expected me to tolerate that and love Frankie anyway and be glad that she met Ricky. I still don't go to my mom's, and our visits have decreased significantly. My mom added me to a group chat with her and Ricky, and they told me Frankie's doing really bad in school and might not be able to graduate, and she needs a tutor. My mom knows that I tutor for my school. The two of them asked me to tutor Frankie so she can have a chance at graduating. Ricky made this really passionate speech about how she needs this. My mom told me I should help out family and we can try to put the mess behind us. I told them I would never help Frankie, and I would rather die than spend another second with her. I told them not to bother me with that again, and I left the chat and blocked Ricky's number. My mom and Ricky have texted me from my mom's phone asking me to reconsider and saying I need to move forward and try to work on the family stuff. And yeah, like the title says, they want me to do it for free. Or, as my mom said, for bonus points with the parents. Papa Bear came out when I told my dad what they asked me to do. He's so pissed. But I know that digging in my heels might be sorta petty and show an unwillingness to see if Frankie has changed. OP, I'm not sure what's worse. The fact that you had to live with your bully or that your mother is such a disgrace. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your mom, stepdad, and Frankie 4 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for not giving my girlfriend my social security number so she can run a background check on me? I'm a 27-year-old guy, and I've been in a relationship with my 31-year-old girlfriend for almost a year now. This evening, she sat me down and said she needs to have a serious conversation with me, and she asked for my social security number. I said, absolutely not. Why would you need that? She told me about her ex-boyfriend that was basically living a double life. He had a bunch of criminal charges in his past that he'd never told her about, and eventually exposed her to some sketchy and dangerous behavior before she broke things off after he cheated. I said, okay, thank you for telling me that, but what does that have to do with my social security number? She said ever since then, she's had her friend that works for the federal government run background checks on people to make sure they're safe. And because our relationship is progressing, she needs to know that I'm a safe partner for her, so she wants my social security number to check my criminal history. Now, for the record, I don't even have a parking ticket. I'm a nerd and a gym rat. All I do is work, go to school, play D&D, come home, watch anime, rinse and repeat. So I don't care about a background check. She won't find anything. But I am not giving out my social security number. I don't feel comfortable enough providing that to her friend. When I said that, she got upset and said I don't understand what women go through and it's about safety. And I admitted she's right. I have no idea what women go through, but that doesn't mean that I'm giving out my social security number to a complete stranger. She says he isn't a stranger. He's one of her best friends and married to a close friend of hers. And I said, honey, that's great, but I don't know him and I don't trust him because I don't know him. That's my information you're asking for. You can trust him with your personal information if you want, but no one I don't know is getting my social security number or critical details. It's just not happening. She said that our relationship isn't going to be able to progress unless I give him my social security number because she needs to know that she's safe. And she's offended that I don't trust her taste in friends. I got up and left at that point and told her I respect her concerns, but her past trauma doesn't give her the right to try to strong-arm me into giving out sensitive information to someone I don't know, just because he works for the federal government and has access to a database. I used to work for the federal government, so I can say from experience that everyone working there isn't some wonderful person. I'm not assuming he's a monster or anything, but just working for the feds doesn't prove anything to me. She called me insensitive and hasn't spoken to me since. Personally, I feel like she was gaslighting me into giving her what she wants, but I'm not sure. Down in the comments, there's obviously a lot of people saying this is super sketchy, but also some government employees pointing out that this is literally a felony. Well, to be clear, it would be a felony on behalf of the friend who works for the government because he's not allowed to just look this stuff up for personal reasons. So this is just sketchy on top of sketchy. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your girlfriend, I suppose, 1.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for refusing to let my sister's boyfriend attend Christmas dinner after what he said to my husband? My sister's been dating this guy, Jack, for about 6 months. She's head over heels for him, but my husband and I aren't his biggest fans. He's been offhandedly rude a few times, but nothing major until recently. Last weekend, we hosted a small family dinner. Jack was invited, and things were going fine until Jack made a comment about my husband's work. My husband is an elementary school teacher, and Jack apparently thought that it was funny to call him a babysitter who actually gets paid for it. My husband tried to laugh it off, but I could see that he was hurt. My husband works so hard and genuinely loves what he does. So I snapped back and told Jack that at least my husband contributes something meaningful to the world. Unlike people who just mooch off their girlfriends, Jack is unemployed and lives with my sister rent-free. Things got tense and Jack stormed out. My sister later said I embarrassed him and that I should apologize. Now Christmas is coming up, and my sister asked if Jack could come to our family dinner. I said no. I told her he wasn't welcome in my house until he apologized to my husband. She called me a hypocrite for demanding an apology after what I said about him. Our parents are staying neutral, but my mom did say that it might be better to just let it go for the holidays. Yo, this guy comes into your house where your husband, presumably helps pay for the mortgage and insults your husband, and then you're supposed to invite him back in and serve him dinner? Yeah, right. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving Jack 1.5 out of 5. Am I the butthole for telling my sister's boyfriend that it's not his business if I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom? I'm a 22-year-old woman, and I have an older sister who's 28 with 4 kids. She loves being a mom and wants to be a stay-at-home mom, and I encourage her to do whatever she wants. She herself understands that I have no desire to be a mom right now, if not ever. I have 2 other older sisters who are like me who don't want to be a stay-at-home mother. Her boyfriend is mad at me because he asked me when I'm going to settle down and that he can introduce me to his friend who wants a stay-at-home wife. I told him that I don't want to date anyone this year, and he got mad at me for some reason and asked me why. So I told him that my ex-boyfriend left me with trust issues. He cheated on me for 6 months. He told me that we broke up last year, so I should start getting back out there. I told him it's not his business, and he dropped it. But 2 days ago, he asked me if I wanted to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. And I told him, no, I don't, and I'm not even sure if I want kids, let alone to be married. He got defensive since his mom was a stay-at-home wife and mom. And I told him I don't see anything wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, but that I personally don't want to depend on a man for anything. And he once again got defensive and said that not all men are the same. I told him he was correct, but again, not all women are the same. He said my sister wants to be a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I told him, congratulations on finding that with my sister, but I once again don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. He got mad because he overheard my conversation about me getting an IUD as well and told me that I'm ruining God's plan to make me a mom one day. And I told him whether I want kids or not is not his business. He got mad at me and told me to get out of his home, so I did. My older sister is asking me to apologize to him and to not get an IUD since if I get pregnant, it's God's plan. And she told me that I should reconsider being a stay-at-home mom and wife. I told her not everyone has that dream. And she accused me of not respecting stay-at-home mothers or wives, which is nothing but lies. My 2 older sisters are on my side and said that my sister's boyfriend shouldn't be concerned on how I live my life, and that if I don't want to depend on anyone for the rest of my life, that's my choice. He also said that I'm going to hell for being bisexual, so I screamed that I guess his girlfriend, my sister, is also going to hell because she's bisexual, which he already knows about. Now their friends are calling me a butthole, saying that he only cares about what I do with my body since it's God's body and I should respect it and become a mom soon. So, am I the butthole for telling my sister's boyfriend it's not his business if I don't want to be a stay-at-home wife or mom? Yo, you guys, what's going on with this post? Why is this guy so obsessed with OP's body? I almost wonder, this might be a stretch, maybe it is. I almost wonder if it's like a fetish thing. Like if he's obsessed and turned on with his girlfriend's hot sister getting knocked up and he can't stop thinking about it, because I don't understand why else he could be so obsessed with this. He says it's God's plan, but clearly it isn't, because why doesn't he marry his girlfriend? Apparently they got kids together. Apparently they're living together. Isn't that against God's plan? Shouldn't they be married first? Isn't it wrong, in his words, not mine, isn't it wrong to be with a bisexual? So I don't really think, man, I don't know what's going on in this post, man. In any event, OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving this guy, I don't even know, 2.5, I guess, out of 5 buttholes. This guy's a real weirdo, and I'm having a lot of difficulty understanding what's going through his brain now. Am I the butthole for telling my dad's girlfriend that the house she lives in is 0% hers and to expect nothing? I'm 41 years old, and 5 years ago, I used my 401k to put a down payment on a house for my dad, who's 69, and his longtime girlfriend, who's 73. I'm co-owner with him. She pays $400 a month rent. They're poor and on fixed incomes. I grew up poor, but I have a good job. My dad was a good dad. His girlfriend has always been incredibly negative, full of complaints, and obviously has huge unhealed childhood trauma. They're aging poorly. I wanted to look at selling their house and buying a large, multi-generational home this year. Dad told me that she was freaking out, and I said, she can keep on freaking out. She apparently thought that I was selling their house and leaving them homeless and buying myself a house. And she yelled at me through the phone that she wasn't going anywhere. And after the call, she made comments about how much rent she had paid and how she deserved something and threatened my dad with it or I'd get a lawyer. I was absolutely devastated that she would even think that I would do that. I've been quite generous, always fair and forward. I paid their water bill, which is almost $200 a month. I buy them supplies during winter. I got them new kitchen appliances a few years ago. When she realized that she had the wrong end of the stick, she tried to pretend like it didn't happen. No apology, just try to sweep it under the rug. I couldn't let it fly. I realized there was no way I could now share a roof with this person. I gave it a month and then sent her an email explaining that I owe her nothing. That's not how rent works. That she has no say in the sale or share of the proceeds, and she could reconcile with her own child. So that way, if my father passes first, she'll have some support, because I will not support her in any way, including renting the house to her. That she will never be welcome to share my roof after this, and there will be no further offer of a multi-generational home. And that I'm not comfortable paying the water bill any longer because it's in her name. And also, I just bought my dad a truck for $5,000, which I'm now paying insurance and maintenance on. She called me when she got the email and tried to pretend that half of it never happened, that she never insinuated that it would take $20,000 to make her go away. My dad chimed in, and she caved. She said she didn't mean it like that. I didn't believe her, and she called me evil. Then she said that it was Dad's fault for not giving her enough details, and that's why she flew off the handle. I told her it didn't matter, and to have a nice life. OP, I'm on your side, but just be prepared. With this woman yapping into his ear, it's more than likely that he's going to leave her his half of the house. You get 0 out of 5 buttholes, she gets 2 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for snapping at a hotel receptionist after being given the wrong room 3 times? I was on a trip recently and booked a room at a fairly nice hotel. I specifically paid extra for a room with a king bed and a city view because it was supposed to be a relaxing getaway. When I checked in, they gave me a room with 2 twin beds and a view of the parking lot. I went back to the front desk, politely explained the issue, and they apologized, saying there was a mix-up. They gave me another room key, but when I got to that room, it still wasn't right. This time, it was a queen bed with no view at all. I was annoyed, but kept my cool and went back to the desk again. They apologized again and assured me the next room would be correct. Spoiler, it wasn't. The third room wasn't even cleaned yet. There were towels on the floor and an unmade bed. At that point, I was exhausted and frustrated. I went back to the front desk and snapped at the receptionist. I didn't yell or swear, but I raised my voice and told them it was ridiculous that I couldn't get the room that I paid for after 3 tries. The receptionist looked flustered and said they were doing their best, but I wasn't really in the mood to hear it. They eventually upgraded me to a suite, but when I told a friend about the situation, they said that I overreacted and that it wasn't the receptionist's fault because they don't control the room assignments. I feel like I was being justified in being upset, but now I'm wondering if I crossed the line. We have the winning comment down from Hannah R. Lindsay. As a former hotel receptionist, they're literally the only ones who control the room assignments. You have every right to be upset. 3 times is absurd. Yeah, OP, and you weren't really being a Karen, you were just being, understandably frustrated. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving the receptionist 1 out of 5 buttholes. That was rSlash Am I the Butthole, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.